Hola, hola, it's your girl Erica from America. Welcome to the Confidence Chronicles podcast. This podcast is all about helping you stand in who you are. Stop giving a fuck what people think about you. Start standing as your fully expressed self. As you are, as is, there is no filter needed. You are fucking awesome, and I am here to remind you. I'm a confidence coach, and I'm a bold stand for confidence, and I cannot wait to dig into today's episode with you. My friends, welcome back to the podcast. Or if it's your first time here, welcome. Are you in store for a treat? I'm so excited that you clicked on this episode. I am so pumped because today we have an incredibly special guest, Miss Katherine Persoglia of Property Before Prada. Yo, first of all, the name Property Before Prada got me. I was just like, yep, I agree with you, girl. Katherine is a mortgage expert, and she is helping and inspiring women to be financially savvy. This woman bought a couple properties when she was 20, 19, 21 years old. She is the real deal when it comes to teaching women how to have financial freedom and how to understand why we need to be investing in property and how we can do it with no jargon, no bank talk, no making you feel like you don't understand. She is doing incredible work for young women who want to buy property, who want to be smart about their finances, and older women who maybe have been in crazy relationships where they were not touching money. They don't know what's going on. They've never paid a bill, and now they feel shame or guilt for not having this financial knowledge. And Katherine is a stand for all women reclaiming their power through finances. I cannot wait for you to listen to this amazing episode. And if you are listening to this before the 5th of March, 2021, please get your ass a ticket to our incredible event where I am speaking International Women's Day. Katherine is hosting this incredible event for women to connect and celebrate one another. All the details are in the show notes. I cannot wait for you to listen to all of the knowledge bombs that she drops in this episode. Without further ado, here is Katherine. Katherine, I am so freaking excited to welcome you to the podcast, sister.
Wow, Erica, thank you so much for having me. I'm so thrilled, and I've been so excited about being on your podcast. Thank you.
My cheeks are hurting. We have just started recording, but we've been talking for a little while and my face hurts because this woman is a ball of love and light and energy, and I'm super pumped for today's conversation. So to everyone who maybe doesn't know about Property Over Prada, can you tell them about you and the work that you amazingly do in the world?
Oh, thank you. Look, I love the name Property Before Prada because it really does represent me. I grew up always wanting to buy property. I can't tell you exactly why that is, but I had this love and passion for property. And when I was 19, I bought my first home. And by the time I was 21, I had moved on to my second property, and I began this portfolio. And look, I didn't really know what I was doing at such a young age. I kind of fumbled my way through it, and I was offered an opportunity to become a mortgage broker when I was 24 years old. And I kind of so left of field. It was not me at all. I think I failed maths, Erica. It was so, I didn't think that that's where I would head in life in finance, but it was so related to property. And I was I love it. And, after being a mortgage broker now for nearly 2 decades, I'm that old.
Please, you do not look like that at all. Everybody watching this, if you could see her, she's 16. You look amazing. Can't believe that. 20 years.
Yeah, nearly. Yeah. So next year, 20 years in business. So It's been such an incredible journey. And I got to the stage a few years ago when I really decided that I had a story to tell. And I knew that I could offer women, young women and older women, the support and guidance in terms of financial education. And then I kind of looked back and went, well, I've been involved within a franchise for so many years, but the franchise model, although it is amazing and I love my franchisees, I wanted my brand to speak about me, you know, and that was what it was about. What are my beliefs? What do I want to put out into the world? And I was always about, you know, investing and being financially independent. And it's not about, you know, hating men and all that kind of thing. Like, I'm happily married.
Yeah.
It's about being secure as a woman, and money and finances gives you that ability to not be stuck in a position where you can't move from. And, you know, I can relate that to young women who think that, you know, it's out of their reach in terms of getting a home, or I can relate that back to women that maybe have gone through 25 years, they've come out of a marriage and they're so financially illiterate and they don't know where to start. So I thought that I could do a deep dive and help women of all demographics just become a little bit more confident and independent. And for me, I've always bought property before Prada. And that to me is get your priorities straight. And that's where that name came from. You can have Prada. I've got Prada, love it. Love the brands, Erica. Like, I'm not, you know, I'll, you know, keep away from designer goods, but I think there's a way in which you get them and a sequence. And I just wanted to put it out there to young women that, you know, instead of buying that $4,000 bag, pop that into a deposit. You can get your home, get yourself set up, and then buy all the freaking Gucci, Prada you like, lady.
You're speaking my language. I am like, yes. It's such a great name because you're right. We just, you know, this happens a lot in America where I grew up. Like, these guys have these amazing cars that are tricked out with all the bass and the freaking wheels and all this shit. And then they're in some ghetto ass apartment. And I'm like, with your mom, like, why didn't you buy yourself a house instead of spending like $50K on that car that you're parked in an apartment? Like, it just doesn't, you know, it's really crazy why we have these priorities. And we are investing in things that are not going to give us any return at all. So we look cool for people who don't like us, that we don't like.
I agree. But you know what? We've also got the additional pressure these days of Instagram. Now, Erica, I did not have that. Lucky. Thank God I didn't have that, because, you know, I was never about looking at what all the other girls were doing. I couldn't give a shit what anyone was doing. Yeah. It was me, and I was looking after my own business. I wasn't trying to impress by having a new outfit every time I popped up on Instagram or having the latest anything. I just cared about myself and getting myself into a state where I was not financially free, but building a good little asset base for myself. And I feel that these days everyone's looking at what everyone else is doing and they're trying to keep up. Who gives a shit what other people are doing? When you've gone and spent 10 grand on bags and shoes, and when you're 40 and you've got not much to your name, who cares what you did back then when you were 20 years old and that you got the latest Gucci bag? Like, get your priorities straight.
Yeah. 100%. And who taught you this? Because, like, buying a property at 19 and then 21, my husband did the same thing. He bought a property really young and we live there now. And it's like the best thing that he ever did. But how did you learn? Like, how was your upbringing or your parents? Did they teach you? Like, what made you want to be interested in this?
Yeah, it's so funny. So mum and dad, they're not, like, I come from a very religious family. My dad was a minister, grew up in a very strict household, which was absolutely fine. But mum and dad were very, very hard workers. They had a insurance business that they'd run and they were self-employed. They sold it 20 years ago. And mum and dad used to buy little properties and they used to renovate them and then move, and they'd make some money and they kept on upgrading. And so from a really young age, I was surrounded by exactly that. Dad would go away on a little business trip for insurance to see his clients out of town. And Mum would get the paintbrushes out, and us girls, I've got a sister, we would get in and we'd paint rooms, and Dad would come back to the shock of his life. We just redone 5 rooms, and, and it was exciting. We had these little things as girls together that we'd do one room at a time. And look, they're my early memories. And I saw the bits of wealth Mum and Dad created. Now, that was not their focus. They were all about the ministry and the religion and so forth. So they weren't, building wealth, but I saw what they did on a small scale to supplement and I guess grow their wealth. And I loved it. And that's when I became really obsessed with renovating and doing what they were doing, because I just had this little passion for it. And my sister was amazing with interior design. So it was just this thing that, was kind of ingrained when we were, quite young.
Wow. So both of you, so you're like, no wonder, because I see all your amazing photos on your IG. I'm like, oh my gosh, like all the decor and design. Did you guys work together doing this, or does she kind of go off and
No, she doesn't help me do the interior design anymore, but it's something that we both share, and our family is really into that renovating and interior design. Like, we've all got our own style, and it's just something I grew up with and I've really got a love and a passion for. And seriously, I'm no interior designer. It's more of that passion project. I love getting in, turning something really ugly into something nice, and it's a bit of fun. Bit of creativity.
Yeah, it feels like not only this whole time that you've done this, it's like you've done it for obviously wanting to build wealth, but also like it feels like it's been fun and free and flowy, and almost like it was chosen for you, almost like this. You walked into this like, oh, hey, yes, this is where I'm meant to be, and you've let yourself be guided and moved, and obviously you listened to your intuition. How did it feel going, I'm going to go build my own brand. I'm going to have the confidence to do my own thing, because now you're doing this. So how did you feel? I'm sure it was like scary, but how did you feel about that? Like, take us through that, you starting your brand and moving away from the franchise and kind of doing your own thing.
Yeah. I'm excited. I knew that I could talk to women, and I knew that I could help them. And I've always been quite confident because I know my stuff, Erica. I've been doing this for a long time. I've made so many mistakes along the way in terms of my own personal journey. And I know that I can help other people. It is not just women, but I do love to help women. And certainly when I broke away into and rebranded my business, I was confident that it would resonate with others. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to share the fuck ups.
Yeah.
I wanted to go, you know what? I'm absolutely not perfect. And I run my masterclasses for first home buyers, and I talk about my fuck ups. I'm like, this is what I did wrong. Don't you do it. So with my business, I bring that personal element into, being able to guide them financially.
Yeah.
And I'm not a financial planner. I just stick to my own lane. I'm a mortgage broker. So my role is to make sure my clients have the best home loan, have the best loan structure, and I will guide them as to, their borrowing capacity and what they can afford, and how they can get equity and buy another property and that kind of fun stuff. It's like you're helping people create their dreams, whether it's their dream home, whether it's building wealth through buying more property, whatever it is, that's what I'm there to do. And along the way, I share my own story. I mean, I've bought and sold over 20 odd properties. Wow. They haven't all been good experiences. So there's a lot we can all learn from each other.
Yo, 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 my business ladies, where you at? You want to listen to this because I am super excited to share with you that after receiving hundreds of messages, DMs, emails, questions about my business and about how we built what we built in 2.5 years, we have killed it in our business. It has been incredible. We have this massive vision. We've been able to enroll women from all over the world and be supporting and helping them to stand in their power, reclaim their voice, build businesses that impact so they can have the lifestyle they desire. And now you have an opportunity to work with me so that I can teach you how to do the same. Please go ahead and check out in the show notes. I've got an application for our upcoming mastermind, Scale Squad. Scale Squad is legit, where I am going to be business coaching an intimate group of women to show you everything that I did to build my business. You will get everything behind the scenes, the how, the when, the why, the how, the what, the mentorship. And let me just tell you that how I do one thing is how I do everything. I do not skim. I don't want to just tell you what I did. I want to show you how so that you can actually create it for yourself. I think that money in the hands of good women is going to change the fucking world. And so if you have been looking for some business mentoring and you love my style and you want to know how I did what I did, I want to teach you. I want to show you. Be sure to head over either to my Instagram or my website and check out the business mentoring. Apply for this. It's not guaranteed everybody can get in, but I would love for you to apply. It's an incredible experience, and the questions in there will have you moving and thinking about the kind of business, about the kind of vision that you have committed to creating. I'm so pumped. I'm so excited for this. It's some of the best work I get to do. Business mentoring is my jam. If you are ready to do some shit with me and build your vampire, then go on and apply. And I love to, I don't know if you follow like Grant and Alana Cardone, but Grant Cardone always talks about like, you know, like assets and buying things like homes and properties and not buying a gold chain or buying, you know, those Gucci shoes. Cause like that is not an asset. And it's like, he says something, assets before something. And it's so powerful because you think like you don't know. And I think if you don't know, and if you're listening to this and you're like, oh my God, how do I start? What do I do? I'm totally going to book a session with me and my husband will book a session with you because we now want to buy another house. And me being from America and being in Australia and being like, I remember when I first got with my husband and he told me that he bought a house a long time ago. And I'm like, really? Like, wow. Like, how much was that? And then saying that you need $100,000 for a deposit, basically, you know, 10%. And I'm like, I remember saying to him, I've never known anyone who saved $100,000. And now I totally have saved $100,000 and then some, but I'm like, that's impossible. So what are the things that you get from women and going, there's no way I can do that. There's no way I can be her like you. I can't afford that. Like, what are the big kind of things that come up for women when you first work with them about, you know, buying their property and building their wealth?
It's interesting. The biggest thing is they don't know where to start. And, you know, and it's too much and it's overwhelming for them.
Yeah.
And once we break it down, and look, I do, you know, 45-minute Zoom sessions or in-person sessions with clients to guide them and give them a plan of attack. And I also do those masterclasses, especially just to help break it down so that they understand their plan of attack and what they need to do to achieve it. And quite often we'll get off the phone after a 45-minute phone call and my client will just say to me, oh my goodness, I didn't think this is possible. And you've just told me it is.
Wow.
And I think it's about breaking things down into bite-sized pieces so that it's tick, tick, step one. Step two, don't overcomplicate things and don't over-engineer it and make it sound so difficult because it's not. You just need a few steps, set some targets. And quite often I'll say to a client, this is what you need to save by this date to achieve this. And we work back. It's not difficult. You just need someone to hold your hand, guide you, and put in a simple plan. And this is what I love about what I do is because I break it down and I make it so that it's achievable. And if it's not, I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that's you can't do this, but this is what we can do. No bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm not into that. It's just like, it is what it is. Let's deal with it.
Yes, that's what we need. We need a whole like, hey, let's be real with what the situation at hand, because, and I know that you talk about like no bank jargon, but so many times, a lot of us go to a bank because we think, the bank is going to help us, or we go to the loan people, and there's so many choices and things that we have, and it's like, what the hell do we do? So I know that you do master classes. What else do you offer resources when someone's like someone who's listening is like, I want to buy a house, I want to do this, where the hell do I start?
The starting point is always to understand the numbers. And I always go back to that. There's no use going out and looking for a property, whether it's for your owner occupier or an investment, unless you understand the numbers. And the numbers are, how much can I borrow? What is my maximum purchase price? How much savings do I need? And what are my monthly repayments? They're the key indicators. And within 45 minutes, I can tell, and that's a lovely discussion where I go through a range of questions and really do a deep dive into people's, their goals and objectives. And I can tell a client exactly those things. Once you've got that basic information, that then can form your plan, and then you can go out and really confidently start searching for property, knowing exactly where you stand. But quite often I'll have clients that come to me and they've been searching for 6 months. Then they'll come to me and we have a come to Jesus together, because they're looking in the wrong price bracket. Yeah. They can't afford that. They should have come to me in the beginning. Yeah. And now we've got to go, no, this is your price bracket. So again, the numbers are the first thing you've got to start on before you get swept up in the moment and find that property, only for me to tell you that I don't think that's possible for you right now.
Yeah. And then what do we do? Like, we sacrifice so many things to try to make it work, and it's just too much. The property here, what are you seeing with property? Like, obviously it's going up. And does it feel like it's getting harder and harder for people to get something? Because I remember we were looking around. We live near the beach, and me and my husband were laughing because there's a house that's like $1 million, and it needs like $1 million in renovations, and we're just like, who is going to buy that? Like, what's happening with property right now? Obviously, with COVID and everything that's going on, what are you seeing?
Oh, it's a hot market at the moment, and look, especially, depending on different suburbs, have different things happening. But what you've got during COVID was everyone that wanted to buy last year couldn't, because they, weren't open for inspections. So you've got all that built up, lot of people that couldn't buy. Then you've got everyone else that is now ready to buy. So you've got like double the amount of people searching for property, and you've got hardly any stock on the market. And what that does is really pushes the prices up to a premium when you've got not much stock and you've got, double the amount of people wanting to buy in. And not everyone did badly out of COVID. Yeah. People were able to rein it in and save some coin. So their deposits have significantly increased. You've got the government grants now that are really, helping not only first home buyers, but in Victoria, we've got reduced stamp duty, 25% discount until the middle of the year. So there's all these different things that the government has done. Plus you've got cashed up buyers, which have, a substantial deposit. So people are spending more now on the property. And maybe last year their budget was a $600,000 property, but this year it's $700,000 because they've been able to save up more money. So it is crazy. We are absolutely flat out. We've got clients that are wanting to go to auction and they're missing out because properties are selling prior. Yeah. Big heated market.
And it's so crazy too, because it's so the vibe of this year, this 2021 vibe is like, well, it's not 2020 and COVID's not like full in effect, but it's still this like oscillating, like, we're taking 2 steps forwards and going, oh shit, are we going to be back in lockdown? Or what's going to happen? It's kind of like this, everybody's on edge. So I can really imagine that at auction or home buying is like very reactive almost. Like, okay, let's do this. Let's work it out. Let's make it happen. Wow, that's crazy how this has changed everything. But you're busy, which is good.
Yeah, still working to 1 o'clock most nights at the moment because, it's about delivering a certain service.
Yeah.
And literally some nights I can't sleep unless I know that I've done certain things that I've promised that I was going to do for a client. So, I've got a great team around me now. We've got 2 new brokers that started with Property Before Prada this year. We've got a great support team, and that's something that, again, hiring during COVID was awful. And now I've been really able to establish a really good core group of women that together we can support each other.
How do you find it, right? So now getting a team together, keeping everyone together during COVID and keeping that kind of confidence with them. Do you guys because I can imagine it's hard, right? Because they have their own thing and what's going on and will this happen and will this close down? How has it been for you, particularly as a business owner, to like manage your vision and your dreams and expanding, but also having like the real life stuff with COVID and a team?
Yeah, it is a constant juggle, Erica. Like it's business owners, like we don't stop.
Yeah.
Whether it's training, whether it's marketing your business, whether it's planning events, there's always something going on. I'm mentor to both of my brokers. We're setting up an office in Albury next month. So, and that's been, fun to plan. And I'm so excited about that. I've got a great broker who's a local girl who has been broking for quite a few years and we're making that happen. And then, there's always something going on.
Yeah.
And obviously, putting our business out into the market and generating leads and things like that. There's constantly something happening. Plus, I'm also writing loans and helping my own clients in properties and things like that. So it's this big circle, we did a business planning session at the beginning of the year, and I really feel that when you've got a team, you need to be on the same page. And we had everyone dialing in. So we had a couple of the brokers that joined on site. We had everyone else dial in. It's key to have your staff on the same page as you. I'm certainly not one that keeps my cards close to my chest. I share as much as I possibly can. I want to build up these brokers who work within Property Before Prada I want to build them up so that they're confident, so they've got the knowledge, they've got the backing. I don't keep secrets.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that they are doing the best that they can for their clients, and they've got the best tools so that they can carry out their job. And I feel like, I love how these brokers, we've got Nancy and Jess is coming on board. Just their attention to detail. I need to back them. Without my support, I'm letting them down. It's my responsibility. I've got very big responsibility to make sure that I'm supporting them in the best way possible so that they can succeed.
Yeah, and they're lucky because you got 20 years, even though you look like Elle Macpherson and you totally don't look like you've been in the industry that long. They're so lucky because you went through all of this. You know how amazing to work with you and the energy that you have and the vision that you're building and the fact that you have another office coming. Congratulations. That's fucking exciting, like expanding during this COVID time. And this is true. Like some people are expanding, some are contracting, and we got to trust the process. You're also a wife.
Yes.
And a mama? Mm-hmm. Oh my God. So see, we don't play. She is building her vampire, everybody. So tell me, how are you oh my gosh. Okay. So tell me about your babies or your baby and how you're teaching them or how you weave this. They're getting to see you, you're modeling it, but like, are you teaching them about money, all of that jazz? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I've been married for just over 10 years now, and we have two boys, Luciano and Raphael.
God, Luciano was going to be the name I was going to name my child with my first husband. He passed away, but that was our idea. Oh my God, that's so weird. I've never heard anybody have that name. Oh my God, that's beautiful. Two boys. Okay, sorry, tell me.
And look, they are beautiful. So Luciano is 10. He just turned 10. And yeah, we had that shotgun wedding.
You're like, woohoo, yes.
I was like 8 months pregnant. Anyway, so sharing too much now.
No, girl, we love it. I know your parents are like, I'm like, you're like, it's happening before wedlock. Don't worry.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe when I told my mum and dad I'm pregnant, I'm like, and we weren't married. It's like, oh, anyway, that's another story. And little Raphael, he is 8 years old, and they are in year 2 and 4. They know me as a working mum. They know me as the mum boss. Even my husband, he's very, very supportive.
Yes.
And that's the key. Like, if I didn't have the support from Stephen, I would be up shit creek because I would not be able to do what I do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't work standard hours. I've got a husband that does pickups and drop-offs more than I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So without that support, I literally could not be serving my clients the way that I do. And I would not be able to grow my business in the way that I do. Now, my children, they love Property Before, and Rafi calls it Property Before Prada because he couldn't say it. Property Before Prada, they love it. We're teaching them about money every day. It's not an obsession, but it is trying to give them some life skills about investing and not wasting money on certain things. But it is quite difficult because, they basically grow up with everything, you know what they want, and it's that balance about pulling it back and setting those boundaries that, no, you're not getting that. You haven't done your jobs. You're not getting your pocket money. And it's being really, and I'm pretty tough, and so is my husband, about you've got to work for your money. I did. I worked 2 jobs. My husband, he worked 2 jobs. We never got a handout from our parents, Erica. This is, we've worked really hard. Nothing has been given to us. And the thing that we don't want to happen with our children is we give them everything, and then basically they turn out the opposite to us. They're lazy little so-and-sos that can't be getting off their own. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah, girl. 1,000,000%. I'm over here like, I'm American. I grew up so messed up. And I'm like, I don't want my kids to be on welfare and food stamps and be abused. But I also am so fearful that they're going to be these like privileged Australian children that don't know anything bad and they have everything they want. Same thing. It's such a balance for parents to really... and it's good that you guys are strict and you're giving them, do you give them like real money? Because my kid thinks that the phone pays for everything. Like, just hold the phone next to the register and it's automatically paid. You got the money, mom. Just show her your phone. I'm like, oh my God.
I know. Look, it is hard. I mean, they've got little smartwatch things where we can add their pocket money to, and they can really follow and track what they earn. We do have the occasional, $10 lying around. Actually, Rafi found $100 today, and he said he's going to the tuck shop. And I'm like, mate, you're not taking $100 to the tuck shop. And I'm like, where did you even get that from? Like, so money is scarce in our house.
It's scarce in 2021. Like, places aren't accepting dollars, and I'm like, what's going to happen? I've got heaps of money in my purse that just hangs out there. And I'm like, what are we going to do with this stuff that we used to use?
Oh, it's funny. But, we try and instill the value of money and working for it. And I think if we don't do that now, we will have problems later on. We've spoken to them about getting their first job and how mummy and daddy, how we started out, with our jobs at 14 years old and 9 months. Both of us were crazy, like bang, straight into it. Yeah. So that's the kind of thing that we're instilling. We're prepping our kids that the moment they turn 14 and 9 months, they're getting a job. I don't care.
Go to work at, what is it? It's like the Burger King, Hungry Jack's. Get your booty. That's my first job. I had 2 jobs as well at 14 years old. And I think it's so funny because what you do, you can then give it to your kids. And this is what we talk about a lot on the podcast. Like, you can't tell your child to be confident. You can't tell your child to save their money. We need to be modeling and show them with our lives. And it's so awesome because your boys are going to be so incredible with money. They're going to understand so much. They're going to understand what a powerful, independent, amazing woman that's also a loving mother and a husband, a dad who is supportive. Like, it sounds like our home. And we have 2 boys as well that are 2 years apart as well, which is hilarious. I'm like, I'm not making Play-Doh, honey. Mommy is I'm making business over here and daddy's going to pick you up. But like, it helps you balance. Like, Hamish helps so much, but then also I've got your back, but the business is busy and there's so much exciting stuff going on. And you guys are running events as well. Tell me about that. Like, you guys have so much happening. It's so exciting.
Yeah, I love events. Yeah. For me, events have always been a big thing for me, even personally. Yeah. I love having people over. I just love being around people. And one of the strategies when I did my rebrand was to create meaningful events. I'm not talking about a long lunch with girls. I'm talking about a meaningful event where women can walk away and they've actually got something out of it. Mm-hmm. So I run a range of different events, from really small, intimate boardroom property and pokey lunches. Yeah, like just nothing fancy.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have to be fancy. It's just going to be with purpose and really engaging, and especially those small events, they are more about connection.
Yeah.
And really doing some deep dive. It's they're very intimate, and we have some really good conversations. And that's what those small events are about, with like-minded women in business.
Yeah.
And then we've got our master classes, obviously, which is really about teaching and education. Mm-hmm. Right through to I am releasing another masterclass later this year, and that's in collaboration with a few other businesses that are in property, legal, financial planning, and they are targeted towards helping women that have gone through the past 20 odd years. They've maybe had a marriage breakdown and they need to rebuild. They are financially illiterate. Mm-hmm. And to helping those women to go, okay, this is how you pay your bills. This is how we're going to get your superannuation together. This is how we're going to get you back on your feet financially, because there's a lot of women that have not, their husbands or their partners have controlled everything.
I know. What is the deal with that? I see that so much with the older, like the 50s, the 60s, what is the deal? Like, do you think it's just the old 50s vibe that happened, and now, I think my mother-in-law doesn't even know the password or how to pay. Like, if my father-in-law's gone, like, we're all screwed because we don't know. What is, like, it's so sad. What is that? What has happened there? And what do we think now, like, we can do now for our mothers or our, because it's really our mother's age, right? Am I right? Or is it a little bit younger?
Absolutely. So what I'm finding is women, especially over the age of 50, that have given up their career, they've raised their children, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. But they've taken, I guess, the foot off the pedal in terms of they're bringing in income to the family. So the partner or the husband has probably controlled the finances and the income. Now, the kids have all grown up. They're now off married. What I'm finding is a lot of those marriages have broken down after that time. And you've got the wife that's now divorced, might have the family home and a bit of super, but really doesn't know how to invest, what to do with money. Yeah. And like you've said before, they don't have the passwords to internet banking. They've not paid the bills. They've not had that control because their husbands have. So there's a lot of opportunity there to really help and educate those women, because I had one particular lady call me and she said that she was embarrassed to call me. Like, that's sad.
Yeah.
No one should be embarrassed. I feel like the past was your past. Own it, acknowledge it, and go, you know what? Today's a new day. And I'm starting from today. We all have some horrible things that we've gone through in life. And now this is the future. And how are you going to react now? How are you going to make those changes in your mind and go, I'm doing it for me now? So, yeah, I'm really passionate about helping those women not make those same mistakes, and you're not going to, but you've got to kind of have your tribe around you. And I've got some really great professional women that, like the financial planner, like the lawyers, and a great team that are there to support women.
This is a game changer. I'm just like, oh my God, we could talk about this for another 5 hours. Like, this is so huge because you think about it, the more you're talking about it, I'm like, oh my God, it's a huge problem. And it's probably a demographic that, we're so young and like hip and like, yeah, we're on Instagram and Clubhouse and YouTube and all these things. And that generation is really kind of not there. And so those of us that are 20 to 40, are really kind of in that gauge, and we may forget about our mothers or our grandmothers, our young grandmothers that may be in these horrible situations where the partner passes away or they get a breakup or divorce or they become handicapped, and then this woman has to look after everything. So this is humongous. If you're listening and you have a mother or a grandmother or an auntie who fits this vibe, please contact Katherine and get connected, because just you having a respectable team that you've vetted already and said, hey, these women are going to support you, because it sounds like you're not only helping them understand, but you're also creating a safe space, because that is that shame and the guilt and that embarrassment you said, like, it needs to be safe.
And that's it. It's, going through life and they look at it and go, well, I'm 50 or I'm 55 or 60 and, I've lost so much. And there's no confidence there, Erica. That's just not non-existent, and to think that a woman of that age that has, raised the children, she's provided a good life for the family, she's done everything that she can, to feel like that, it is really, really sad. So yeah, and you're right, it's just, being able to surround them and prop them up. And once they've got that confidence back, they can do so much more.
I love you. I think it's so powerful what you're doing. It's amazing. Oh my gosh. I can think of so many women. I'm like, oh my God, you need to call Katherine. Long distance American clients who literally have lived lives like this. This is crazy and so important. Thank you for the work that you're doing. I freaking acknowledge you, because I just feel so much better just talking to you about things that I probably would have never wanted to ask someone, because I would feel dumb or like I don't know enough about that. And so I think that that's one of the most impactful things, is through the education and through the platform that you've built, and how safe and welcoming, even just watching your stories on Instagram, like, oh, I can speak to her, like sometimes you feel overwhelmed speaking to someone in a suit and tie and like very like, let me shake your hand. And it's like, oh, I don't know if I have what it takes. Like, it feels like you're talking to a car salesman sometimes, and you instantly have your guard up. And I can hear with you and your team, it's like, hey, let's have a normal chat. Let's swear. Let's hang out, let's vibe. Do you have master classes that people can watch or check out? Or is it something that you do them live, or do you do Zooms as well?
Yeah, so the master classes, I've only ever done them live. Something definitely I'll look at doing online, so it's a little bit more accessible for people, especially, interstate and things like that. Yeah. Definitely on the radar. But in terms of speaking to, people one-on-one, I do 5 or 6 appointments a day, and that's just like a Zoom or a phone call, whatever works for a client, where we can just have that initial discussion and go, okay, what can we do? What's your plan of attack? And can I help you now? Or is it something that will put together a plan for you?
Yeah.
And I feel like it's just picking up the phone or connecting just to make that first step, because that can make all the difference. And just hearing someone say, you can do this.
Yeah.
That's probably a really big thing for a lot of women that just don't believe they can. and just going, you know what, I've got your back. It's not going to happen in the next 3 months or the next 6 months maybe, but this is a plan for 12 months. And if you can work with me for 12 months and I'll guide you, this is what your end result is going to be. So, I feel like there's a lot of opportunity out there. And if that embarrassment, you've just got to get over that embarrassment, because there shouldn't be anything to be embarrassed about, really. I've seen it all, and all I'm there to do is to help, seriously.
Yeah. And you can share, like you said, like your mistakes. And I think that that's the beautiful thing about you and that's why, same with my brand, like I'll talk about all the messed up stuff and then people feel safe. And when they feel safe, they can share openly with you. And you've really created that, that vibe with your business and that vibe with your platform, so that in that container, people can open up and share. What do you feel like? Why do you feel like women avoid talking about money or getting their money sorted? Is it the shame, do you feel? Is it that, like, what do you think it is? Because you see so much of this.
Yeah, I think for young people, I think they're very intimidated. They just don't know where to start. It's a matter of, I think it's out of my reach, or they might think, well, no, I'm going to wait and I'm going to do that when I get married, right? So there's a lot of that with young people, to go, I'll wait till I'm with someone or find someone, or they put their, I guess they put all their eggs into, they rely on the man to, do something with them or whatever. So I feel that women don't think it's necessary for them to start putting together a financial plan for themselves in their young 20s.
That's good. 20, girl.
Yeah. And that's a pretty big problem. I've helped clients that have been in a relationship for 10 years. It's all dissolved and they've walked away with nothing. Whereas, if they were financially savvy, they could have at least done something for themselves, so that if you do break up and things do go wrong, at least you've started to create some financial assets and backing for yourself. So I find that there's that demographic. And then there is, on the other side of things, there's that shame of going through life and breaking up and having to start all over again, and not being confident to talk about it, and thinking it's impossible to change at a later age.
Ugh. There's so much around your self-worth, your self-love, the way you think about yourself, who you think you are. Like, all of the work that, like, I love doing is so wrapped into this, because who you're being is going to determine what you allow and what you don't allow, and the things that you attract. And I remember having a client who was literally fighting for this house that she wanted so badly, so her mom and dad could be proud of her and society could give her the tick of approval. And she was literally stressing herself and her partner out, and they couldn't afford it. And I'm like, you're killing yourself for this home that you want. When you get in there, you and your partner who are about to get married are going to be miserable as hell. You're going to raise babies that are like, it's so crazy. It's like we're forcefully trying to create this, I'm going to say American dream, but we're in Australia, this dream in every country that we're supposed to own a home and have babies and buy a house and go to nice schools and all this shit. It's so crazy.
Living beyond your means is something that I've seen a lot of people do, and that does not bring happiness. That brings stress. It brings anxiety. And again, it's going back to not looking at what everyone else is doing. I just concentrate on yourself and your own family. That's number one. Don't keep up with everyone else, because you never know. You're trying to maintain some image and be like them, but you don't know what dramas they're going through behind closed doors. Instagram shows you the amazing pics. It's just, that's not real life.
Yeah.
It's not a grid full of amazing, happy pics. There's a lot of shit that's going on in the background that people don't see. I do love property. We invest in shares as well. So I'm certainly not just property focused. We've done really well out of shares. I just think women need to get themselves educated, whether they buy property or whether they buy shares. It's about investing and creating some assets, tangible assets that grow in value for yourself, so that you are financially independent.
Yes.
And you're not relying on anyone. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. And then that overflow, if you got the money, you can buy the Prada shoes then. Okay. With the overflow. I love this conversation. It's so important as well in this atmosphere that we're in because of COVID. And you saw so many businesses go down. You saw so many people struggle because it shows, if you can't do 4 months, you don't have savings for 4 months in your business or in your life, and you really struggled in COVID, it is showing you like we are living beyond our means. There's so many people shutting down. And then you look at the cars and you look at the bags, and that shit can't help you. So I love, love, love what you're talking about. What's the future vision for Property Before Prada? What's coming up in the mix? And you have an event as well that we need to talk about. Whoop, whoop.
Look, heaps. I think big.
Yeah.
I do think big. I think my only restriction is, not enough time, and I need additional help to, put into practice all these things that I want to do. So definitely the podcast will come out at some stage when I talk all things money and buying property and how to do it. Obviously, those events, I'm passionate about those events, releasing of new masterclasses. The next big thing, obviously, that we're doing next month is International Women's Day. Fabulous event. We're talking about creating vibes and getting your girl gang around you that are supporting you. And that's what this event is about in particular. So I'm excited. I did a big one last year, which was just fantastic. And with you involved this year, I know we're just going to go bananas, and and it's exciting, and I want women to come along and again just walk out feeling uplifted, feeling like they've made some great connections, they've learned something, engagement and some real conversations, not just your surface level, but really, I've got a lot of wonderful women coming along. So I'm totally excited about that. And then, opening up an office in Albury, which is great. So there's a lot of plans that I've got, and some things that I couldn't do last year. But you know what? Park it and do it this year.
Yes, 2021 is the year where it all is going to happen, girl. Oh my gosh. Okay, so people are going to want to find you. I'm going to book a session with you, with my husband, because we're talking property. How can people find you? Where can they go? Tell us all the things. And we're going to pop it in the show notes as well if you're listening. But yeah, let us know.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so definitely Instagram. I try and update that every few days with any education or any information about the business. So definitely there if you want to get to know more about me and how we can help you. We've also got the website, which is propertybeforeprada.com. And again, you'll get a lot of educational information, and all of our contact details are on there. And I love just connecting via Zoom, phone call. All my mobile email details are online, and also on Instagram, Property Before Prada. So it's really simple to connect.
Yes, Katherine, thank you so much for the amazing work. I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited for all the amazing women that get to work with you. And just please know that you are doing such amazing work for the world. We need more women like you. We need more of our mothers and grandmothers and young women to connect with someone like you and look up to you. Like, forget about the Kardashians. You need to be following Miss Katherine, because what you're teaching is going to change the world, and it's going to change the world for our children. So I acknowledge you and I thank you so much. I can't wait to see you for lunch tomorrow and do our event together. Woo woo.
Thank you for having me. You know what? We can talk all day, and we'll reconvene tomorrow.
Sorry, guys, you're going to miss the convo. It's going to be great. We're actually going to get to hang out in person, which is so good. Thank you, my love. You are the best. My love, before you go, I really want to share this incredible opportunity with you, because if you're loving this podcast, then you will most likely love working with me for the next 12 months in the sisterhood. It's my year-long coaching experience, and I have really good news because we have shifted and changed the pricing. There is a new offer for 2021 because I know how many people struggled in 2020 financially, and I also know how much shit came up for us that we all need to be working on. So year-long coaching program, the Sisterhood with me. You can join in person if you live in Melbourne or you want to fly to Melbourne 6 times a year, or you can join online where I coach live for the 12 months. You have me as your coach. You can hit me with any problems or questions you have. We coach live for 2 hours a month. It is next level shit. The community is incredible. If you want to learn more, head to my website, thequeenofconfidence.com/sisterhood, SISTA, sisterhood. I can't wait to welcome you. Thank you so much for listening. I so appreciate your ears, your time, your energy, and your attention. Please do me a favor and head over to Apple iTunes, subscribe so that you don't miss an episode, share this episode with a sister who you know needs to hear it, and if you feel called to, leave me a review. I'd love to know what you think about the podcast. I'd love to know how this information is helping you change your world. Thank you so much for being here. I know that there are many podcasts you could listen to, and I really appreciate you listening to mine. Have a gorgeous week, honey.